Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we are diving deep into the fascinating history and unbelievable value of one of the most surprising coins in American history, the 1963 D Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. You heard that right. This tiny copper coin, often overlooked and tossed aside, has sold for an astonishing $92,691. But how? Why? What makes this penny so special? And more importantly, could you have one in your collection without even knowing it? Stick around because we're about to uncover everything you need to know. Let's rewind the clock to the year 1963. It was a time of major change in America. The country was in the midst of the civil rights movement. President John F. Kennedy was still in office. The Beatles were just breaking into the mainstream. And somewhere in Denver at the United States Mint, millions of Lincoln cents were rolling off the presses, specifically over 1 billion coins with the D Mint mark, signifying they were struck at the Denver Mint, at first glance. The 1963 D penny doesn't seem extraordinary. It's made of 95% copper and 5% zinc. It features the iconic image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side, a design originally created by Victor David Brenner in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. The reverse still bore the wheat ears design up until 1958, but by 1963 it featured the Lincoln Memorial, which was introduced in 1959 to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. So, if this coin was mass-produced and looks like so many others, what makes it so valuable? Great question. It comes down to condition, rarity, and demand from collectors. The average 1963 D penny you find in circulation is worth about 1 to 5 cents. However, when a coin is preserved in near-perfect condition, what collectors call mint state or MS, its value can skyrocket. Now here's the twist. The record-breaking 1963 D penny that sold for $92,691 wasn't just in mint state. It was graded as MS-67 red by a professional coin grading service. That red designation refers to the coin's original copper luster. Over time, copper coins often turn brown due to oxidation. But this one retained its fiery, freshly minted red shine, making it incredibly rare and desirable among collectors. Only a handful of 1963 D pennies have ever received such a high grade, and fewer still have that brilliant red finish. Think about that. Out of over 1 billion pennies minted in Denver that year, only a few survive in pristine condition. It's like finding a needle in a haystack. And collectors are willing to pay top dollar for that needle. But there's more to the story. Some 1963 D pennies have errors that make them even more valuable. Look out for double dies, where the design appears slightly doubled due to a mistake during the striking process. These errors are relatively rare but can increase a coin's value substantially. Another thing to watch for is off-center strikes, repunched mint marks, and other minting anomalies. They're like the Easter eggs of the coin world. Unexpected and highly collectible. Now let's talk current market trends. With coin collecting experiencing a resurgence thanks to online marketplaces and YouTube channels like this one, rare coins have seen a dramatic increase in value. Younger generations are becoming more interested in tangible investments and history-rich items, and coins check both those boxes. The 1963 D penny that sold for nearly $93,000 did so at a prestigious auction, but it's not the only one to fetch a high price. Other high-grade examples consistently sell in the thousands, and even uncirculated rolls of these pennies are now hot commodities. So, what should you do if you think you have a 1963 D penny? First, check its condition. Does it still have that bright red shine? Has it been kept in a holder or flip, away from air and moisture? If so, you might have something special. Second, look for errors or unusual features. If anything looks off or different about your coin, it could be a valuable variety. And finally, consider having it graded by a reputable service like PCGS or NGC. A professional grade can mean the difference between a penny worth 1 cent and one worth thousands. To recap, the 1963 D Lincoln penny might seem like just another coin in your change jar, but under the right conditions, it could be a rare and valuable piece of American history. With over 1 billion minted, finding one in mint condition is a challenge, but not impossible. And if you're lucky enough to find one with a flawless red finish or a rare error, you might just be holding a 5-figure treasure in the palm of your hand. That's all for today's deep dive into the world of valuable pennies. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss another coin spotlight. Drop a comment below if you've got a 1963D penny or want me to cover another rare coin. Until next time, happy hunting and keep checking that pocket change. You never know what you might find. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. If you're a coin collector, a treasure hunter, or someone who just loves learning about rare and valuable coins, then today's video is going to blow your mind. We're diving deep into the story of the legendary 1982 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. This is not just another old penny. This little copper coin has made headlines and shocked collectors around the world with its jaw-dropping value. One recently sold for an astonishing $78,945. Yes, you heard that right. Before we get into the why and how of that massive price tag, let's take a journey back in time. The year was 1982. Ronald Reagan was president of the United States. Gas was under $1 a gallon. The first compact disc was produced. And quietly at the U.S. Mint, a small but incredibly important change was taking place in the production of the penny. For decades, the Lincoln cent had been struck in solid copper. But due to rising metal costs, the U.S. Mint decided to make a major change that year. They started switching the composition of the penny from 95% copper to a cheaper copper-coated zinc. That transition in 1982 makes it one of the most complex and fascinating years in Lincoln cent history. There were actually 7 different varieties of the 1982 penny. That's right, 7. You had both copper and zinc versions. You had large dates and small dates. And you had pennies from both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. That's a lot of combinations. But here's where things get really interesting. Most 1982 pennies made in Philadelphia did not have a mint mark. That was normal at the time. So a no-mint mark alone isn't unusual. But what if I told you that one of these pennies, a 1982 no-mint mark penny, is unlike any other? A very special few were mistakenly struck in solid copper when they were supposed to be zinc. This is where rarity meets error. And when that happens in the world of coin collecting, values can skyrocket. To figure out if a 1982 no-mint mark penny is valuable, you need to know its metal composition and its date style. The rare and expensive one is the 1982 no-mint mark small date copper penny. That's a very specific variety. Let's break that down. Small date versus large date refers to the way the numbers in the date appear. The small date has thinner numbers that sit higher and closer to the rim of the coin. You can compare it side by side with a large date version to see the difference. It takes a trained eye, but collectors know what to look for. As for copper versus zinc, there's a quick home test you can do. A copper penny from 1982 should weigh about 3.1 grams, while a zinc penny only weighs about 2.5 grams. Use a precise digital scale to check. If you have a small date, no-mint mark 1982 penny that weighs 3.1 grams, you could be holding a potential fortune in the palm of your hand. So how rare is this variety? Incredibly rare. Only a few are known to exist. These were most likely struck during the transitional period when copper planchets were still being used accidentally as the mint switched over to zinc. That makes it not only rare, but also a genuine error coin. And error coins are some of the most prized finds among collectors. Now let's talk about the big number. Why did this tiny penny sell for $78,945? Well, the answer is simple. Rarity and demand. When something is both extremely hard to find and highly sought after, the value explodes. One of these coins in pristine condition, certified by a top grading service, came up for auction. The bidding war was fierce, and collectors with deep pockets were ready to pay top dollar for a chance to own it. The final hammer price came in just shy of $80,000, making it one of the most valuable Lincoln pennies ever sold. And guess what? That price could go even higher in the future as more collectors enter the market and fewer of these coins are available for sale. So the big question is, do you have one? Could there be a rare 1982 no mint mark small date copper penny sitting in your change jar right now? It's possible. These coins are still out there, and stories keep popping up of people finding them in the most unexpected places. Here's what you should do. Check your 1982 pennies. Use a scale. Look at the date style carefully. If you think you have something special, don't clean it. Don't damage it. Take it to a professional coin dealer or send it to a coin grading service like PCGS or NGC for authentication. This tiny coin reminds us all that treasure can truly be hiding in plain sight. 1 cent that turns into $78,945? That's the stuff dreams are made of. So get out those jars, search through your drawers, and start hunting. You never know what you might find. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more incredible stories from the world of rare coins. Drop a comment if you think you've got a valuable penny, and let's talk about it. Until next time, happy collecting and keep your eyes open, because the next big find could be yours. Hey coin collectors, history lovers, and treasure hunters. Welcome back to the channel where coins aren't just spare change. They tell stories, unlock mysteries, and in rare cases, make you rich. Today, we are diving into the jaw-dropping story of a simple-looking penny from 1992 that could be hiding in plain sight. In your drawers, piggy banks, or that dusty coin jar under your bed. I'm talking about the 1992 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, and guess what? One of these coins recently sold for an eye-popping $84, $9.25. Yes, you heard that right. Not $84, not $849, but over $84,000. For a 1-cent coin. So, how did this ordinary penny end up with such an extraordinary value? What should you be looking for in your own coin collection? And why is this coin so rare? Sit tight because we're about to unravel it all, the history. First, let's travel back to 1992. Bill Clinton was elected President of the United States. Windows 3.1 was the hottest new tech. Grunge ruled the radio. And the United States Mint was cranking out billions, yes, billions, of Lincoln cents. The Lincoln cent design, of course, had already been in place since 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse features Lincoln's iconic portrait, while the reverse featured the Lincoln Memorial since 1959. But in 1992, something incredibly subtle happened. A transition. A quiet change that almost no one noticed at the time. The U.S. Mint began testing dies for a new reverse design that would debut in 1993, the so-called close AM reversed. Here's the key: most Lincoln cents minted in 1992 should have had what collectors call a wide AM reverse. This means the letters A and M in the word America on the reverse side are spaced far apart. But a small number, a tiny fraction, were accidentally struck with the dies meant for 1993. These have a close AM reverse, where the letters A and M are almost touching, and that, my friends, is what makes the 1992 close AM Lincoln penny one of the rarest modern coins in American numismatic history, the NO mint mark variation. Now, let's talk about the no mint mark. Most coins from Philadelphia have no mint mark at all. So, what's the big deal, right? Well, here's where it gets spicy. While the 1992 penny from Philadelphia should, technically, have no mint mark, the rarity lies not just in that fact, but in the combination. A 1992 penny from the Philadelphia Mint that has the close AM reverse, a design not supposed to be used until 1993. Only a few of these have ever been authenticated, and when collectors found out, they went absolutely wild. Because this wasn't a small error. This was a monumental slip, a mismatched die that created a coin that was never meant to exist. The kind of mistake that turns a regular 1-cent coin into something that sells for more than a luxury car, the discovery and auction. Let's rewind to one of the most famous cases. A lucky collector found a 1992 no mint mark Lincoln penny with the close AM design in near perfect condition. It was sent to a top-tier grading service, authenticated as genuine, and given an ultra-high grade, and it hit the auction block. The bidding war was fierce. Seasoned collectors knew exactly what they were looking at. In the end, that little copper-plated zinc penny sold for a jaw-dropping $84,925. Yes, a penny. Sold for more than most people make in a year. How to spot one yourself. Now you're probably wondering, what if I have one of these in my coin jar? What do I look for? Here's how you check. Flip over any 1992 penny you find. Look closely at the word America. Focus on the letters A and M. If the gap between A and M is wide, sorry, that's the common version. But if the A and M are almost touching, congratulations! You might have found a 1992 close AM. If there's no mint mark under the year and the A and M are close, you could be looking at one of the rarest Lincoln cents ever struck. But remember, condition matters. A beat-up penny won't be worth tens of thousands. But a sharp, well-preserved one? That's where the money comes in. Current market value. So, what are these coins going for today? In top mint state grades, especially MS67 and above. A 1992 no mint mark close AM Lincoln cent can still command values upwards of $50,000, and yes, the record sale is $84,925. Even lower grade examples can bring in thousands if authenticated. That's why collectors check every single 1992 penny they come across. Because lightning can strike twice. And someone out there could have another one. It could even be you. So there you have it. The amazing story of the 1992 no mint mark Lincoln penny with the close AM reverse. A coin that slipped through the cracks, went unnoticed for years, and now commands a price tag that could change someone's life. It's not just a penny. It's a piece of history, a mystery, and possibly your golden ticket. The next time you go digging through your change, remember, treasure doesn't always sparkle. Sometimes it's copper-colored and worth 1 cent. Until you look a little closer. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into rare coins and their secret histories, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next incredible coin story. And hey, if you ever find a rare coin, drop it in the comments below. You never know, your story might be the next one we tell. Happy collecting and keep your eyes on the pennies, because one of them might just be worth a fortune. Welcome back to the channel, coin collectors and history buffs. Today we are diving deep into the story of a modern coin that has shocked even the most seasoned collectors. I'm talking about the 2003 mint mark Lincoln 1 cent penny, a small copper-coated coin that has made a massive splash in the numismatic world. And yes, you heard that right. This penny is reportedly worth as much as $39,000 in today's market. So, what makes this seemingly ordinary coin so incredibly valuable? Let's explore the full history, era details, and the current market value that has collectors on high alert. Understand why the 2003 penny can command such a high price. We have to start with the basics. The Lincoln cent has been in circulation since 1909, originally introduced to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first regular-issue American coin to feature a real person, and since then it has seen a variety of design changes, metal compositions, and mint marks. By 2003, the penny had settled into a familiar look, Lincoln's profile on the front, with the Lincoln Memorial on the back, a design introduced back in 1959. It was minted in zinc with a thin copper coating, and millions of them were produced at the Denver Mint that year, indicated by the small D mark beneath the date. What's so special about one particular 2003 penny? The answer lies in a combination of factors: rarity, condition, and a possible mint error. Most 2003 pennies are only worth face value, 1 cent, and even in uncirculated condition, they might fetch a few dollars. But there's an extremely rare variety that has taken the collecting community by storm. One such example was discovered to have a dramatic mint error, a double die or a misstrike that was not caught during production. That alone would make a coin more valuable, but in this case, the coin was also preserved in pristine, uncirculated condition, with no signs of wear and sharp, well-defined features. When you add rarity and high grade together, The value of a coin can multiply quickly. Professional grading services like PCGS and NGC evaluate coins based on a 70-point scale, with 70 being a perfect coin. The 2003 penny in question was reportedly graded at a near-perfect level, making it one of the finest known examples of its kind. And this is where things get exciting. In a private sale, or potentially at auction, a coin like this can fetch tens of thousands of dollars from an enthusiastic buyer. Reports and sales data suggest that a 2003 penny with the right characteristics could reach as high as $39,000 in the current market. That's a life-changing amount for something you might find in your pocket change. But before you go digging through your coin jar, let's talk a bit more about what to look for. First, you want a 2003 penny with a D mint mark, indicating it was struck at the Denver Mint. Second, you want to check for any signs of mint errors. These could include doubling in the lettering or date, off-center strikes, or unusual features that make the coin stand out. And third, the condition of the coin is everything. The fewer scratches or signs of handling, the more valuable it can be. If you think you've got a winner, it's worth sending it in to a professional grading service for authentication. The world of coin collecting is full of surprises. Sometimes it's not the oldest or the rarest coin that steals the show. Sometimes it's a modern coin, hiding in plain sight, that turns out to be a treasure. The 2003 Lincoln penny is a perfect example. While millions were made, only a handful have shown this extraordinary level of quality or error, making them rare enough to demand prices that most people wouldn't believe. So yes, that humble penny in your change could potentially be worth thousands, even tens of thousands, depending on what you find. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more fascinating stories from the world of coins. Drop a comment below if you've ever come across a rare penny or want help identifying one from your collection. Thanks for watching, and good luck hunting through your coins. Who knows, the next $39,000 penny might be sitting in your pocket right now. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving into an incredible story from the world of coin collecting. A tale that might just make you check your pocket change a little more closely. We are talking about the 2014 no mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny coin. This seemingly ordinary coin has been turning heads in the numismatic community and could be worth an absolutely jaw-dropping $70,000 in pristine condition. That's right, a single penny that could buy you a brand new luxury car. So sit back and get ready for the full story behind this modern-day treasure. Let's begin with the history of the Lincoln penny. The Lincoln cent has been a staple of American currency since it was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first regular-issue American coin to feature the likeness of a real person. The original design was created by sculptor Victor David Brenner and remained largely unchanged until 1959, when the reverse side was updated from the wheat ears to the Lincoln Memorial in celebration of Lincoln's 150th birthday. Fast forward to 2010, and the U.S. Mint once again gave the Lincoln penny a new look. The reverse was changed to depict a Union shield symbolizing Lincoln's preservation of the United States during the Civil War. This is the design we still see today on all circulating pennies, including the 2014 issue. Now here's where things get really interesting. Most pennies minted in Philadelphia do not carry a mint mark. That has been standard for many years, and the 2014 penny is no different in that regard. So you might be wondering what makes this no mint mark coin so special. The answer lies in the specific errors and variations that occurred during production. Among the millions of 2014 pennies produced, there is a very small number of coins with incredibly rare minting errors or unique characteristics. Some have double dies where elements of the design, like the lettering or Lincoln's profile, appear doubled due to misalignment during the minting process. Others might have off-center strikes, broad strikes, or die cracks. These types of errors can dramatically increase the value of a coin, especially when they occur on modern coins that are otherwise expected to be flawless. One particular 2014 no mint mark Lincoln penny gained national attention when it sold at auction for $68,000. This coin was graded by a professional service as being in pristine mint state condition with a remarkable error that made it one of a kind. It is extremely rare to find such high-quality error coins in circulation because most get caught in quality control or are damaged in handling. That is what makes this discovery so incredible and valuable. So, how do you know if you might have a valuable 2014 penny? First, look closely at the coin. Check for any signs of doubling on the text such as Liberty and God We Trust or the date. Use a magnifying glass if needed. Also inspect the coin's surface for cracks or unusual features like a missing portion of the design. If something looks off, it might be worth having the coin evaluated by a professional grading service. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, and anything graded at 65 or higher is considered mint state and highly collectible. Even if your 2014 penny is not worth tens of thousands of dollars, it could still be worth more than face value. Pennies with minor errors or that are in unusually good condition can sell for a few dollars to a few $100s, depending on rarity and demand. And remember, the market for rare coins is always changing. Collectors are always on the lookout for the next big find, and demand can drive up prices dramatically. Now, let's talk a bit about the current market value. As of this year, the most pristine 2014 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny with verified rare errors has been valued at up to $68,000 by auction houses and top collectors. However, the majority of 2014 pennies are still only worth their face value unless they have something truly unique about them. Still, with billions of pennies in circulation, it is amazing to think that a few can hold such immense value. If you think you have a rare coin, do not rush to spend it. Do some research, check out coin valuation websites, talk to reputable coin dealers, and consider getting the coin professionally graded. You never know, you might be sitting on a tiny piece of copper and zinc that is worth more than your monthly rent. And before we wrap up, here is a quick tip for all our treasure hunters out there. Always check your change, especially the coins you tend to overlook like pennies. These small copper coins can sometimes carry big surprises. Whether it is a unique minting error or an extremely well-preserved coin, these little details can mean the difference between 1 cent and thousands of dollars. That's it for today's deep dive into the story of the 2014 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more amazing coin facts and discoveries. Drop a comment below if you have found any rare coins or if you want us to cover a specific coin in a future video. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy collecting!